Welcome to the Artist Advisory Hotline, the podcast for artists who want valuable guidance and honest answers on how to grow their careers and develop their new project from leading art world experts and artists. Here's your host and founder of the Artist Advisory, Marina Granger. Tune in as she gets you the answers you deserve.
Hello, artists. I'm your host, Marina Granger, and today I'm going to talk to you about something so exciting, something that really propelled me to start my business in 2018, right? And today I'm going to talk to you about how artists can get into galleries. This is one of the biggest questions I got, and I feel like I am really qualified to answer this because I've been working in the New York City art world since 2004. I worked in galleries for many years. I was a gallery director for many years. And it is essentially why I started my business, this question, because I saw so many talented artists get their runaround, not really know how to get their work into galleries that especially don't accept submissions. And it's something that they never learned in art school. And it's something they don't even have to learn in art school if they're self-taught, right? So maybe they didn't go to art school, and that's okay. Here's the thing. I have been working with artists specifically focused on this since 2018. So I worked in galleries until 2017, and then in 2018, I started the Artist Advisory, which is this business. And I have learned so much. I've had literally hundreds of case studies on top of the decade plus of experience that I've had in the art world. And so in a few days, I will be presenting a 3-day free training on how you can get your work into galleries. So that don't accept submissions, how you can get your work into galleries that don't accept submissions. And so the free training is going to be on July 10th, 11th, and 12th. And if you hear this podcast or see this podcast after the fact, that's totally cool. I'm still going to have that training available for you through July 22nd so you can watch the replays. But what's the point of joining it during the 10th, 11th, and 12th? If you join during the 10th, 11th, and 12th, I'm going to have prizes that I'm giving away for you guys who are coming to the training. And so those prizes include a grand prize of a full scholarship to the Artist Academy, which is a course that I've been teaching now for 5 years that has been proven to get artists into galleries. And so essentially what I do in the course is I make sure that you are presenting your work in a way that is really understandable to the people who see it, right? Sometimes we really are so close to our work that we get stuck in how we present the work and how we talk about it. And this is a course that teaches you how to present your work, how to talk about it, and so that people really understand it. They get it right away. And sure, it will speak for itself. But in our digital age today, we really need to drill in what the work is about to everyone who has the attention of a fruit fly on Instagram, right? And this is the course for you if you are really feeling like you're not being understood. But that's not it. This isn't it. That's not the only thing. What the course does is also teaches you how to create a personalized roadmap for yourself in the art world and really create a strategy that will be sustainable long term and so that you really understand how the art world works. And I've had artists who have taken this course and then they repeat it once they get to the next step in their career because they're like, well, this is now I'm going to take it from this angle. And it's designed in a way that works for artists of all levels, whether you're just starting out or whether you feel like you have plateaued and you're like, well, what am I doing now? Or you had a lot of success and then maybe your gallery closed and you're like, well, what do I do now? Because the art world before the internet was so different than the art world after the internet. And this course really teaches you how you can use the internet as the ultimate power tool in your toolkit as an artist to get in front of the people that you want to get in front of, right? The internet is the ultimate democratizer of the art world. And so the very, very special thing about this course, because it is live and because what we will do is you're going to watch a module, it'll drop, and then 2 weeks later, we'll have a live Q&A. So you'll have all the time in the world to incorporate all the things that you've learned. And then what we're going to do at the end of all the modules, there's 8 modules, so it's going to be 16 weeks. At the end, you get 2 meetings, so live group meetings, and I'm going to break you down into groups that make sense for the people that you're meeting. But you'll get to introduce yourself and your work to a gallerist or curator. So there'll be 2 meetings like that, which has been so amazing. I've literally had artists get solo shows in galleries that don't accept submissions from this, like 4 months after they meet the gallerist. Like it's amazing. And so this has been one of the coolest parts of this course. I'm so, so excited about it. And of course, the doors to it are opening July 15th. So you can also get on the wait list for that. And that is going to be linked below, as well as the link to the free training. So in the free training, if you attend and you follow my rules, which include Instagram posts, but they're not going to be cringe, I'm going to help you flex your Instagram muscle. You're going to make posts once a day for 3 days. And it's going to be of your artwork. And it's not going to be like, oh, I haven't been watching Marina's training or whatever. I'm just going to help you flex your Instagram muscle. And so from those posts, you're going to be using a certain hashtag that I'm going to give you in the training. I'm going to use that hashtag to find the posts, and then I'm going to select a winner for the grand prize, which is a full scholarship to the Artist Academy, which starts August 1st. And also, the doors open July 15th, right? And then the second prize is going to be a personalized Instagram and website audit from me to make sure that you are presenting your work in a way that serves you and your work and your goals, right? And the third prize is going to be 3 of my favorite books that I include all the time in the suggested reading. I always suggest this to the artists that I work with, especially inside the Artist Academy. And so third prize wins the 3 books. 3, 3. All right. And so let's keep going here. So you attend the free training, you get the prize, and you're thinking, well, Marina, what if I can't make it on the time? Like I can watch them every day, because there will be replays, and they're going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern. So if you're on the East Coast, you can join me for lunch for a little bit. If you're on the West Coast, maybe you're having a chill morning and you join me then. But if you can't watch it at 1 p.m., there's going to be replays every single day that you're going to get. But the only way you're going to get the replays like this, right, live or in a video, the only way you're going to get the replays in a video is if you register for the training. And the only way you can win the prizes is if you register for the training and follow the rules to enter to win the prize, right? Which is going to be in the email that you get. I'm like, is this confusing or what? No, it's not confusing. I'm basically twisting your arm, being like, you're not going to get in your own way today. You are going to go to this training. You're going to do it. You're going to watch it, and maybe you'll win something. That'll be good. But if you don't win, that's still good because you're still a winner because you'll learn so much. That'll be great. So what am I going to be teaching you during this free 3-day training. Three is like one of my favorite numbers. Can you tell? Anyway, um, so what I'm going to be teaching you in the first day is exactly what the galleries that don't accept submissions are looking for. So what they're looking for and also where they're looking for it. In the second day, I'm going to be teaching you how you can actually present to them what they're looking for without sending in a submission. So we're going to identify where they're looking for it, and I'm going to show you how you can put it there. Okay. And I know it sounds cryptic, but I'm going to give you an example in a moment. And in the third day, I'm going to teach you how you can get out of your own way, how you can start to get out of your own way. And that is really the mindset component of this whole thing. And something that I'm going to be doing in this round of the Artist Academy, because I've taught it, I think this is going to be the 14th time I'm teaching it. So I've taught it many times. And so what I do every single time is adjust it so that it kind of has a new spin on it, a new angle. And this particular iteration of it is going to be focused on getting into galleries and working on your mindset. A mindset is going to be a huge component of this. And for those of you who have taken the course before, you know that I incorporate it into every single module. But in this particular iteration of it, we're going to be using modalities like EFT tapping, journaling to really break through any limiting beliefs that you might have that might be holding you back. And limiting beliefs around getting into galleries, we might not even know that they're limiting beliefs when we have them. And that's why they're limiting beliefs, because you believe them, you think they're super true, but they're actually not, right? One of those things is like, I've heard artists say, well, I need to be showing for 10 years before a gallery can take me on. It's so hard to get into a gallery. That's another really limiting belief. No one's going to take me on unless I have an MFA from Yale, right? There are so many of these limiting beliefs, and we make over 35,000 decisions a day based on these beliefs. And even if you tell yourself in your conscious mind, oh, that's not true, or it's not fully true, your subconscious mind is making decisions, so many decisions a day that will lead you down a path that will fulfill those prophecies. So we need to nip them in the bud so that you can really get out of your own way. So that is what we're going to be doing on day 3. So let me give you an example of what galleries are looking for and where to show it to them, because I know that it was a little cryptic when I described it earlier. So for example, galleries are looking for consistency. They want to make sure that you're going to be making work that they can continually sell to their collectors. Now, how does this work? You might be thinking, well, Marina, I have so many different series of work. I don't know what to do. The one thing that is going to keep it consistent throughout, right? Keep all of your different types of work together, if you do have different work, is the intention behind it. And that comes from your elevator pitch, which is something that if you've been following me, you have heard me talk about over and over again. And that is the essential, essential way to describe why you do what you do and how your perspective explains your work and then what you do. So as long as you have a very clear kind of like elevator pitch, a really clear idea of how to explain why you do what you do, how your perspective informs your work, and then tell us what you do last. What you do can change all the time. It's why you do what you do that's so important, because that is a story that the gallerist can bring to their collector, that the that somebody in the gallery who likes your work can bring to the gallerist to be like, hey, we should show this artist. And essentially, like recently, I was curating a group show that actually opens up on July 25th at the Forma, which is a gallery on the Lower East Side. And the show is going to be on the topic of the feminine divine. But as I was researching for the show, I really had a hard time when it came to picking artists because sometimes I like the work, but I could not really understand why the artist did what they did. And when that happens, it kind of feels a little decorative or it just doesn't, I didn't know if it fit in the theme. So what I was really looking for were artworks where the artist had a very strong elevator pitch, a really strong description of how their perspective informed the work, what they're interested in, why they do it. And the way that they would show it to me was through all of their Instagram posts. It would be kind of consistently in the messaging on Instagram, in their tagline, perhaps on their bio, in their bio on their website or in any interviews that they've done. So this is one way to show that consistency when it's not necessarily visual, right? But when it is visual, you want to make sure that you show the visual consistency on your Instagram, right? When you go to your Instagram, as my friend Dina Brodsky says, you want it to look like a mini portfolio of your work, but you also want to show it on your website where we can see the work. I love to see the work in thumbnails first, all the way across and all the way down, so that I can and all the descriptions underneath, the title, the date, the medium, the size, and make sure those thumbnails are not cropped because I need to see the orientation, the size, the development of the work based on the dates in the work so that I know that there's consistency and I know when you're doing it and I know what to pick based on what you're doing recently, like what you're interested in now, right? So I know I keep saying I, but I'm not the only one. There are gallerists out there, curators out there, just like me. I mean, I'm a curator, although it's so wild because I've had the biggest like um resistance to saying that I'm a curator, and we can talk about that in a different episode, but basically I don't want to have favorites when I work with artists, so I'm like I can't curate, I don't know. But I think I got over that, and I'm like not only choosing the artists that I work with, and I'm also being as impartial as possible when I'm looking at the work because I'm focusing on the themes more. And so, actually, some of my favorite artists that I'm obsessed with are not going to be in this group exhibition. But anyway, the group exhibition also is on the topic of the feminine divine. And I thought that it would be really fun to pull a goddess card for you. So, when it comes to the feminine divine, right? And I kind of want to like tell you this before I wrap up the training because or the talk about the training. When it comes to the feminine divine, what's really special is that it's a spiritual space, right? Having the feminine divine, embodying the feminine divine is everything that has to do with inner wisdom, intuition, goddess energy, anything that is not necessarily concrete. I mean, there are concrete ways to quantify this, but when it comes to the masculine divine, which I just want to say in spirituality, all genders embody a little bit of both, right? And there's a balance between both. When it comes to the masculine divine, it's all about everything that has to do with numbers, um, anything that is very, very like quantitative. when it comes to the feminine divine, it's all about intuition, compassion, creativity, sensuality, nurturing, and essentially goddess energy. So that is what the show is about. I'm so excited to share that with you. And so I wanted to pull a card for all of you listening and perhaps watching on YouTube from the Goddess Spirit Oracle deck, because it's always really fun to see like what guidance we can get from this. And, you know, I love to marry the pragmatic and like the practical and the spiritual, mystical, things like that. And I just want to say, like, for those of you who are not into it, if you're not into it, it's okay. It's doesn't have to be for you, but if you're into it, I'm so into it. Okay, so let's pick a goddess card. So wait, I'm going to shuffle this in front of you and show you that I'm not just like, whatever. So here's our card. Ah, and it's Fortuna. Okay. And she embodies change, fortune, and outlook. And I'm going to just say it to you. I think this is a sign that if you're ready for change, it's coming. It's ready for you. So let me just see what her affirmation is. Her affirmation is, my life is abundant, ever expanding. So you can say that with me. My life is abundant, ever expanding. Even if you're not identifying as a lady, you can say that because you too can embody the feminine divine. And so I'll just read verbatim from this oracle deck here. So Fortuna, the goddess of fortune, chance, and luck, wears a very symbolizing blind fate. She carries a cornucopia, the horn of plenty, which holds unlimited riches. She has often been portrayed on coins in the hope of conjuring her divine blessings to multiply wealth. Just as the seasons change in the cycle of energy, so does the path of life. Fortuna teaches that change is inevitable. Without it, life would stagnate. In the event of unforeseen change, your outlook will determine whether it is to be positive or negative. Mm. So your outlook is so important. And remember, she's wearing this like blindfold. She's got blind fate. And your outlook really truly depends on your mindset. And that's something I'll be teaching you in this 3-day live training, which is going to be on the third day. We're really going to focus on mindset. So, I want to tell you a little bit about those logistics. Again, if you register for the training and you follow the rules for the prizes, you get to win one of those 3 prizes. And also, only if you register will you get the replays if you can't make the live meetings, which will be at 1 p.m. Eastern on July 10th, 11th, and 12th. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have access to the replays for all of the following week until the end of July 21st. And the doors to the Artist Academy are going to open on July 15th. That is really, truly the one program I'm so excited to teach. I was teaching it in a pre-recorded self-paced course format since October, and I'm finally going to teach it live again. I'm so excited. It lights me up so much. And if you're interested, go ahead and join the waitlist because, as you know, if you're on the waitlist, you get all the goodies. I get very generous with the waitlist. And you'll also be one of the first to know when doors open. And since it's a live program, it's limited. It's going to be kind of intimate. And I would hate to see you not be able to get in on it if you miss the opportunity because you're not on the wait list, right? If it gets full right away, which has happened before. So, anyway, I really hope to see you at the 3-day live training. If you're interested, go ahead and tap the link in the show notes. Also, if you like this podcast, would you please leave me a review? I would love to get one because then it keeps me going and also helps me get this podcast in front of more people that it can help. So thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for listening. Support your community by sharing this podcast, leaving a review, and follow The Artist Advisory on Instagram at @the_artist_advisory, and visit us online at www.theartistadvisory.com.